Oh, I'm just trying to eat my dinner, and I've got a buddy here. I've just been editing the videos for Hartpury College, and this you're about to see is part 3. When I returned to the agricultural college where I did my agricultural education. He's sticking my ear. And this is a nice bit of the technical side of agriculture. We're going to go and visit the Agritech Centre, which looks into the more kind of scientific side of farming, if you like. So we had a little look around there, but also we had a look at the welding facilities at Hartpury College, where students can learn to improve their welding. And as you know, my welding's not great, but some of these kids, even though they're only 16, can weld a lot better than me. So I think I need to head there. Anyway, sit back and enjoy this video. Yeah, so that we've seen the telehandling and we've done a little bit of the machinery. What are we going to see now, Trev?
Well, we're off to see Ben, if he's free.
He's out there. Looks like a nice shiny building. Let's go and have. What are we going to see in here?
This is our Agritech project which Ben manages.
Okay, let's go and have a look.
You've been playing first hand with the GPS technology for machinery. So Agritech bid is based on using technology to promote, maintain welfare, improve productivity of livestock.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll probably all listen to what you tell me.
For a dairy farmer,
I know nothing.
Great.
Oh God. Let's go. Right, so I'm with you, Ben, in the Agtech building. Tell me what your role is in this building. What do you try to achieve?
So I manage the Agritech Centre, which officially opened in February 2020. Really much focused on improving access to the latest available technology. So rather than stuff that's futuristic, something that could be 5-10 years from becoming available, we're focusing on improving access to the latest available things. Something that is robust, farmer ready, let's say, and obviously ready for commercial practice. So that access we want to provide, whether practically, whether on Hartpury's farm, obviously through demonstration, or through a network of farms which we'll also be working with. But it's also being a base to connect both that technology provider with the users, obviously focusing on farmers as the end users. And that could be supporting across training as well and getting across that technical knowledge exchange, which is incredibly important, because in some cases technology can obviously be really, really complex. So obviously then it's just getting across and being a hub where providers can connect with their prospective or current clients to get across and improve that training so that farmers like yourself can get the most out of the technology that they're using.
What sort of things are you say, it's always about the current things. Climate change is quite often talked about, but also, the other things like nutrient management and things like that. What are the sort of things that you're focusing on in 2021?
I think there's a lot of focus now as we move into more of a digital age. There's a lot of focus now on data.
Yeah.
Okay, specifically, let's give it yourself as a perspective of a farmer. It's seeing what data is available for you to source to support your production goals, but then increasingly importantly now is what we can then do with that data throughout the supply chain. So getting across the high welfare, the high standards obviously we set in the UK and obviously further afield as well. And technology is the vessel for that. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are going to be obviously pivotal and support that. A lot of things that need to be overcome in terms of challenges, barriers. But digital tech is what we seem to be focusing on going forwards.
Have you got anything exciting we can have a look at?
Yeah, we can have a look in here. Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at some digital tech. Ooh, nice classroom. Here we go. All right, you're setting it up. Trev's setting something up. Let's have a look in a minute. Oh, you just switched off the games I wanted to play.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at this. Do you know what? It just shows I don't get out anywhere. First time I've seen such a massive screen that's a touch screen. Look at the size of my touch screen. Look at that. It's massive. It must be very nice to be able to teach with that sort of facility, isn't it?
No, it is nice. Yeah, it does get across to students pretty well as industry and farmers.
Yeah. Well, you're setting up on that. We'll just look at the map there. Here we are. So where are we on here? Are we up here?
Do you want to do it from days of old?
Days of old.
Lawton's farm.
Oh, that's Lawton's. What? Oh, hang on. So that's the equine buildings now, right? Okay.
Building.
Yeah.
We're over here now.
Ah, right. Yeah, I totally lost my bearings. I came in on the track here, all the way up there, that wasn't there. So
Yeah, you came round here.
wow, look at that.
And even that's out of date now because we haven't got the Agritech up here.
So I'm looking at this. So this used to be, we call Lawton's Farm, used to be a Jersey or Guernsey down there in the breast
That's
parlour.
your bedrooms when you
Student, that car park wasn't there.
No, we had a little car park just here.
And this was plots, main house, plots where we used to grow crops in there for, what's that building there?
That's our library, the further education library.
Wow, look at that.
Which wouldn't have been there.
No, that's student accommodation there, isn't it, I think?
All these sort of...
And then you got the arena for the horses and stuff. And what's this? What's that, the rugby pitches?
Our championship side are based over here.
Right. And you've got a lake there. Is the lake part of the...
El sponsored arena if you want to come and watch a championship side play on a Saturday afternoon.
Is the lake part of the education here?
Yeah, no, we've got ducks. We've got a duck pond which is over here somewhere, but we have ducks on there, and that's part of our shoot.
Right.
And obviously that's a brilliant area to manage because with the new BTEC spec, there's a lot more, as you would expect, a lot more environmental issues.
Right.
And with the countryside management course, management of some wetland areas, woodland areas, that's what habitat management. That's a key resource for us.
Okay.
And we're looking to. We want to do a survey of what fish we've got in there, and then maybe start staff student fishing club, good sort of mental health as well as for the gamekeepers or countryside management students to manage that side of things, as well as the pheasants and the ducks that we've got here on site. So
well done.
In our day, that was a woodland.
It was. That's quite a big job to excavate all that out, wasn't it? Wow. So there you go. It's just great to see the map, but also the memories it brings of when we were here as students. It's quite a thing, really. Right, how are we doing over there? Oh, here we go. This looks whizzy. Give me a little talk through. Yeah. You're so tall. I've got to hold the camera up higher.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Antwerp's pretty tall. I mean, I'm a short man, Pep.
So this is an example. What we describe to students as sort of Fitbits for cows. So it's monitoring health, and obviously linking that to fertility, making breeding decisions off the back. Obviously, yourself being a dairy farmer, you all know the importance about making good breeding decisions, checking on the health of your animals. This is a way of doing this digitally. Obviously, for an accelerometer, which is in this sort of system, it's actually an internal bolus. So it sits actually inside the animal. So it's actually monitoring the internal environment of the animal as well. So this will give you alerts, warnings to actually your phone to indicate when an animal is coming into a heat. So if she's standing for too long or overactive, or she's lying down for too long in comparison to the normal, it will give you a bit of an indication or an alert to say that animal needs to be checked upon. In link to fertility, it'll obviously give you an indication of when that animal's in heat, and obviously when you can decide to serve her then. So yeah, it's just an idea of getting a measure. Well, I always use the phrase measure to manage. So actually getting a digital representation of the animal, being able to remotely monitor your herd 24/7. Obviously this is probably one of the mainstays sort of types of technology a lot of livestock farmers are using now. It's all about getting across the importance of that, how students can get the most out of that, obviously being a base as which we are now, for how farmers can get the most out of these systems. So this provider in particular could provide sessions such as training sessions, demonstrations to farmers, like I mentioned before, prospective clients as well as current clients as well, really. So yeah, really good.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, it's just these little things that you come to Hartpury to learn, but when you look at, I'm looking already around the place, and there is so much scope here, isn't there? I've just seen the telehandlers, the tractors that drive themselves, a bolus that go. I didn't know you could get a bolus that could go inside the cow to do this, to send to your smartphone.
Yeah,
that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's lots of different wearable tech, which is the type of technology that I'm talking about. You can have things like pedometers sit around the sort of the leg of the animal. You could have neck collars.
Those are the ones I'm familiar with, the ones neck collars, but I didn't know you could do a bolus. What's the advantage of the bolus then? Will you stick that in and it's there for the life of the cow?
Yeah, well, not certainly. You can have it for the life of the cow, and it can give you a snapshot of the impact of the diet upon those animals as well. You're getting sort of real world impact sort of data associated with the diet that you feed that animal. So looking at things like pH in the rumen, which is obviously incredibly important, and having an actual value to that, you know exactly what's going on, rather than looking further ahead and obviously being sort of waiting around for clinical signs.
Seeing the symptoms might be a bit late by then.
I think these are the sort of key technologies that enable you to action on things before any clinical signs show. So being able to monitor things like temperature, activity before you may notice it yourself as a
exactly.
So it's very much an aid rather than a replacement of people. So it's really good.
It's interesting because I totally get that, because I've got a cow at the moment that went down today, and she's under the weather, and I'm thinking, we got her up, but what was the matter with that? But the thing is, you would have been able to see there was an issue there before maybe she would have gone down with this sort of technology, wouldn't you?
That's exactly what this technology is trying to do. It's just trying to make you make more informed decisions and being able to action on things before they become a serious issue, really. So really a good sort of commercial technology.
Brilliant. I mean, this fantastic. Thank you, Ben, for showing me a little bit of the Agtech. I think we're going to go and see the cows in a bit, so hopefully I'll get to see some healthy Hartpury cows.
Good stuff.
Cheers, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gradually doing a little tour around, seeing bits and pieces. I'm just going to come into, is this the classrooms, Trev?
This is the Malcolm Walton building, yes. This is our main base for agriculture. We don't fit it completely.
Right.
So it is a learning resource.
So it's quite a new building, isn't it?
An animal come over. Yeah, it's 10 years old.
10 years old, right.
10 years old now.
So how many classrooms you got in here?
That's a good question.
Make up an answer, Trev. Six, and that is a mixture of
3 IT rooms.
Right.
We'll have a bit of a walkthrough.
Okay, we'll have just a quick look.
I'm going to mask up, go through. We're going to get changed, and then we'll go up onto the farm.
Right, fantastic.
Maybe a coffee on the way.
Well, that'd be good.
There's all good computer room down this
Nice
way.
buildings, aren't they? All nice and airy, aren't they? A bit different when we were here. It was all porter cabins.
When we bring people through on careers mornings, this is always a nice one because it looks out over there with the sun on there.
All right.
So we do have to remind the students that they have to do assignments. We've got Lucky at the farm. We've got this room for sort of 24 computers, another 12 there, and there's another 24 upstairs, which we'll see on the way to my office.
Yeah.
And then the room above this is the best view out back at the main Hartpury house.
Wow. Well, this is good, isn't it? When I came here, I was working on BBC Bees, I think, and there was about 4 computers for all the students at college. Slightly different now.
I should work right for milk, and then we should get some cows. Don't want me to get judged. So we got any light in here? We've got...
Oh, I caught you. Look at this.
Is that heater's all right?
It's a bit noisy. Can we turn it off? Are you the man in charge of welding?
I am the man in charge of welding.
How many students do you teach welding a week then?
Over 100 a week.
Wow.
I do 2 sessions a day.
Yeah.
I do 12 to 14 in a session. So busy, really busy.
So what's the basic welding skills that you would try and teach someone?
Well, most of our agricultural students are first years. They do stick welding.
Yeah.
So they are learning basic welds up on our board there.
Yeah.
These are basic welds.
Yeah.
So they've got to do 5 welds, and then they've got to ask 15 questions on welding. And then my second years, then they come to a second year and do MIG welding. So they have to do. So they do first year stick, and then first year, second year do MIG welding.
Well, I tell you what, I did a welding course so long ago. My welding's like pigeon poo. I'm gonna have to come back here and do a course at some point. What you got there, Trev? Is this
a sample?
I wish my welding looked like that.
I did see on your videos that your harrows you welded up.
Oh God, you're looking at my welding.
And you did go and sell them and buy new stuff.
I did. Thank God. Look at this.
So again, most of these weren't welded at all, were they?
So these are samples actually starting to do this year. So,
are they? And so what age group?
16,
wow.
17, 16. Some of them never picked a weld up before.
Yeah.
And some of them, when they first start, it's literally like you said. It is like this.
No, that's my welding. Now look, I just done that.
This is when they start.
Oh my God, that's what mine's like. I'd be pleased with that.
And then after a few weeks, they can produce stuff like that.
Wow.
you know, and we always put stick welding first because stick's the harder one to use.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's harder.
Glad you told me that.
So I always say a MIG welder's a glue gun. You can actually just set it and just go faster. The stick is more of a skill.
Right.
So.
Well,
yeah, no. So
I can see the difference here. Here's the Funky Farmer welding, and this is it Archie? What's that? Archie Roberts. He's done very well there.
Yeah. So
and there's some more examples.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad sample.
What are you looking for in a weld then? Just a steady flow, are you?
Yeah, it's got a weld profile. So basically, I would mark this on its profile. So consistent weld ripples.
Right.
So nice and tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's also got to be nice and rounded. No plate edges showing.
Okay.
So it's flush on both sides. If it was an open corner, we'd be looking for penetration, but this is a closed corner.
Right.
No undercutting, no the little slag inclusion in here.
Point down for Archie.
But they can on the sitting gills get a slag inclusion, but it's best not to have slag inclusion.
Right.
So this one would probably be one he would have, but we'd probably give him another chance to get a better one.
Well, he's done a really good job. Archie Roberts, if you're watching, I'm 53 years old, mate, and I cannot weld like that. And how old's Archie?
Archie's 16.
Archie's 16. He's shown me what Archie, you're a legend.
And all this is, all he's basically done wrong here is, and which we discussed, he's put a tack weld on both ends, and what I normally teach him is you arc up on the end and run over the tack and melt it in, and when you come to the end of it, you run over the tack and melt that in and come over. And what he's done, he started above it and finished before it. Right. So he's got a slag inclusion into it.
I knew that. I was about to say that, mate. That's really good. Thank you so much for showing me that. And I'm going to have to come back and seriously get a welding course.
You're welcome to come, and I'll be interested to teach you.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you. All the best.
You're welcome.
That was good. Right, where are we going now, Trev?
Up to the farm, now milking time.
Milky. There we go. Fantastic to see that ag centre and the welding facilities there. So tune in for the final video where I will be looking at their milking parlour, the cow section, the cubicles, a little bit of their handling system. It's a really lovely video to see the actual animals at Hartpury College. Here he is. It is. I keep calling him. Oh, he's got to have a name, Trev. Got to name the robot.